all, and welcome again to this video. Now in this video we are going to talk about our concept of inner child. Okay, inner child is something we need to understand that all our things, whatever we are dealing with in our life, is coming somewhere or the other. The roots are there in our childhood, because in our childhood maybe we might have heard, we might have held into some fears, whatever belief system or whatever way we perceive life, everything, whatever we must understand before entering into the concept itself. We must understand that our family, our projections, our reflections, and its patterns, everything, the child, as a child we have picked up everything and we learned, and that is how we grew as adult. So understanding the inner child becomes, as we already talked in the previous video, why it is so important. Okay, it is important because that's where you learn to how to unlearn what is not needed for you. Okay, it is about the self. It is about your own self, like through conditioning the child has grown in some conditioning. This is right, this is wrong, this is what you are supposed to do, this is not what you're supposed to do. Okay, there was a suppression in the child's of a voice of the inner self. Okay, the many things you didn't know because of the disapproval. We do not know that the parents would approve us or not. Because of all that factors also, the many things we got suppressed inside, right? And now when we are talking about, now it is like the time comes to unlock the true potential of what we are. Okay, when we come into that unlock the true potential of inner child, because the inner child is lost somewhere in some conditioning and some fear, and somewhere in a deep down where it has become now, because we got so engaged in our survival issues and all these things, we forgot that inner child totally. And inner child is nothing but the purest essence of what you are. It is the way, because that is the only way where you can live your life at the fullest, to fully experience your complete purified version of you. It is so important and it is necessary to embrace that child inside us. Okay, due to social or cultural conditioning, probably the conditioning, and because of some traumatic experiences in life, the very innocent and playful child within us is probably wounded, right? To avoid further pain and suffering, the wounded child remained withdrawn completely inside. It's not opening up, because we end up doing that whenever we think about, we want to address something. We step back because, oh, I don't want this right now. Why unnecessary? It is unnecessary. Let it be very simple. Okay, if not, if I open up, it is going to be too this thing. We so many times we do that. We step back. The same way the inner child also is stepping back, because just to avoid some pain and some suffering. Okay, through the inner child work, one can embrace the parent, and a parent inside, leading to a great spiritual parenting. Okay, now in this video I'm going to ask you a few questions right here. uh, you, when you answer these questions, I want you all to be very authentic and honest. Okay, let's journey inside us and understand these questions. Right, what is the happiest memory from your childhood, and what feelings or sensations from that moment can you bring into life today? What was the happiest, if you look into yourself, what was the happiest moment, okay, from your childhood? And what were the feelings and sensations at that moment? Can you bring that same sensations and same feelings right now in your life today? And next question, I want you to answer all this. Okay, and next question is, what are those limited beliefs you learned from your family or your community, and what would your inner child do to challenge it? Sometimes we see something in our childhood and we go as a rebel. Okay, so that's what the child has picked up. You see a scenario and you pick up something else and you go into a rebel mode. Okay, rebel mode is all about, protection. It is a kind of protecting yourself so that you don't end up into suffering and again painful. It might sound good, but you are becoming another personality in due course of this. Okay, so just write down whatever was the limited belief did you learn from your family, and what would your inner child say to challenge it. Okay, and now I want you all to think of a moment, the second one, the third question. Think of a time of in your childhood when you felt hurt or misunderstood. What did you needed actually in that moment, and how can you offer the same thing to yourself now? Okay, sometimes it happens in our childhood, you felt hurt and you felt misunderstood. There was something you needed at that point of time, and now to yourself, what how can you offer the same thing? Okay, now I want you to do all this. And next, the fourth question: what part of your personality do you tend to hide or reject? Whatever, there is some personality is something, we don't want to see that we are bad. We always want to be good, because bad is something, which we have heard in our childhood, that this is doing such a kind of a thing is bad. It is wrong. In this, we don't want to do it. We reject a part. Why at all a particular act was being done? What was that at that point of time as a child was thinking? Okay, so now it is, if you have given a voice to that child for that particular act, how would you do it? How might giving that part a help, a little voice help now? Okay, you will feel more whole. Okay, that point of time, maybe you felt something, a part of personality you're rejecting, you're not wanting to see. What is that you're trying to avoid? What is that you're trying to protect? What is that you're trying to hide? Okay, you can understand all this. Now, the fifth question: what would a truly supportive parent say to you in a moment of struggle? If you are being a child and if you are being your own parent, what is that your parent self is going to say in that moment where your child is struggling, your child self is struggling, and what can you do, and what can your parent self do to this with the same thing with your inner child? Okay, I want you to do that. What is that a child does and what the parent does, and now the same thing, how it would be if you're parenting your parenting self and your child self, how would it would be? Okay, I want you all to write now, and in the link below, and this is how everything goes. And I'm giving you few more prompts, like, a few more inner query questions. Okay, and then also some activities. I want you all to do those activities and share. Do every activity very authentically. Okay, when you do all those activities and everything, when you answer every question, you go more deeper into it. Once you go more deeper into it, you understand, oh, how beautiful it is for you, and you are connecting to your whole. Okay, do this, and let's connect to the next video. In the next video, we are going to talk about we are going to talk about other concepts. Okay, other concepts of the same inner child. Okay, that we are going to talk different concepts also, and what were there, every concept is there in this course. Okay, what we are going to talk about the course, and courses, we know it is about inner child, and now we are going to talk about the concepts of it. Okay, see you in the next video. Don't forget to share your notes. Okay, and get into the next, and click onto the link below and check into the prompts. Okay, see you in the next video.